Hello students, this is lecture number 8. We are seeing about principles of inheritance and variation. In the previous class I told you about the incomplete dominance and codominance. Actually, in codominance we took the example of blood groups in human population. Blood groups in human population is also an example for multiple allelism, you may remember, because there are more than two alleles involved in controlling this particular character. So this multiple allelism can be observed only in a population, not in an individual, because individual will always be deployed in nature. Remember this point. So we have seen so many deviations from Mendelian principle. Even starch grain size and shape of the seed both are controlled by one gene product. That also we have seen in the previous class. Now in today's class, let me explain you about another important 5-mark question related to these principles of inheritance. It is called as two-gene inheritance. We are going to discuss here. Two-gene inheritance, or otherwise it can be called as a dihybrid cross also. Monohybrid cross is otherwise called as one-gene inheritance. Now here we are going to discuss about dihybrid cross, otherwise two-gene inheritance we are going to discuss. What is meant by dihybrid cross or two-gene inheritance means? It is the cross between two individuals with reference to two characters, we can say. The cross between two individuals with reference to two characters is called as two-gene inheritance, otherwise it is called as dihybrid cross. Students, these two characters can be otherwise written as four traits also in the case of pea plant. I told you already, each character has got two differentiation or two variation in the pea plant. When Mendel studied about them, they exhibited 14 traits and 7 characters. Is it or not? Similarly, here when we take two characters, it can be 4-trait inheritance or otherwise 2-character inheritance or dihybrid cross or two-gene inheritance, it can be called. This is the most important 5-mark question. If you see your board exam question paper for the past 8 years, 10 years like that, more than 60% of time you could have come across this question, dihybrid cross, you could have come across. Let us see how Mendel performed dihybrid cross in Pisum sativum. We are going to discuss here. So Mendel performed not only monohybrid cross. Based on monohybrid cross, he proposed two laws. One is law of dominance, another one is law of segregation. But not only about that, even he performed dihybrid cross also. In monohybrid cross, he took only one character. In dihybrid cross, he took two characters. For example, in pea plants, let us take two characters here. For example, one character, let us imagine seed shape of the pea plant. In seed shape can be one character, we shall observe here. Second character he took was seed color, he has taken for another observation. These two characters have been taken together. Seed shape and seed color were considered at a time. Remember, in a monohybrid cross, except one character, in all other 6 characters, the parents resembled each other. They differed only in one character. But in a dihybrid cross, the parents differ in 2 characters and the remaining 5 characters, they resemble each other. So in 5 characters, there are no difference. Only in seed shape and seed color they exhibited difference. Such two plants are taken as parents for a dihybrid cross. And you can remember here, this is the character This seed shape character can occur in two allelic forms or two variations, two alternative forms here. Some of the Pisum sativum produced round seeded plant actually. The seed shape was round in nature, so round seed they produced. And some of the pea plant, they produced wrinkled seeded condition here. Wrinkled seeded. That means shrunken seed we can see here. The wrinkled seed, it has got somewhat shrunken in the shape. It is not perfectly round in nature. So these are traits. This is the character. Seed shape can be round and wrinkled like this. When we come to the seed color, here also we are coming across two colors among the seeds. One type of color, it is yellow color we can see. Yellow. The seed was yellow in color and round in shape. Whereas another seed is green in color, remember. Some other seeds are green in color. So, yellow and green are pertaining to the seed color. Round and wrinkled are pertaining to the seed shape. Remember this point. When Mendel did monohybrid cross among these two traits, monohybrid cross means only one character. When Mendel crossed round and wrinkled, round was found to be dominant by him. Okay? It has exhibited in the first generation, only round has appeared. 3:1 ratio has appeared in the second generation when there was monohybrid cross with reference to seed shape only. Similarly, when he conducted seed color monohybrid cross with only one character called seed color, he found that yellow is dominant over the green color. Let us imagine. Yellow is dominant over green color. So based on this, we shall give some symbols for these characters. Let us consider roundness is capital R because it is dominant. Wrinkledness is small r, let us consider here. Yellow is dominant, so let me write it as capital Y. And green is recessive, let me write it as small y like this. A symbol we have given for this alleles. Both R, capital R and small r are alternative forms of the seed shape, remember. Capital Y and small y are alternative characters of seed color. So they are alleles to each other. Alternative forms of a gene are called alleles. Capital R is an allele to small r. Remember this point. Capital Y is an allele to small y. Please remember, capital R and capital Y, these two are not alleles because they are not pertaining to the same character. Capital R and small r are alleles. Capital Y and small y are alleles. It is not reversible. Capital Y and small y are alleles. Small y and small r are not alleles. Remember, this is the basic point we have to remember. Now, what Mendel did with reference to these two characters, seed shape and seed color, when we cross in Pisum sativum, what happens? So let us see the outline of this experiment. Later I will explain you about the detailed condition. Pisum sativum is the plant taken by Mendel, and he himself conducted what is that, two gene inheritance also. In Pisum sativum, what is the outline of the dihybrid cross? He took parents as round yellow parent. One of the parents was having round yellow, another parent was having wrinkled green actually, wrinkled green. So round yellow is one parent, wrinkled green is another parent. You remember this point? What is the meaning of this word round yellow? With reference to shape it is round. With reference to color it is yellow. So we are taking two characters, means we take round yellow. Most of you will make mistake here. You will take round wrinkled together. That should not be there. It must be one character for shape, another trait for color we have to take. Round yellow, wrinkled green means With reference to shape it is wrinkled, with reference to color it is green, remember. So round yellow and wrinkled green were taken for study. When he crossed them, let us imagine this is a male parent, this is the female parent. The pollen grain from them have been transferred to the female parent. Female parent is emasculated because it was bisexual flower. So after emasculation it behaves perfectly a female. Now when pollen grains are transferred to the wrinkled green, they have undergone fertilization and they have become they produced the first generation also. Mendel obtained first generation offsprings as round yellow only. All the F1 generation offsprings were round yellow, remember. This is the parental generation. These parents have produced a round yellow only in the F1 generation. Remember, there is no individual with wrinkled green. Now Mendel understood law of dominance is playing an important role here because he already knew about law of dominance based on monohybrid cross. When he crossed round and wrinkled, he already knew round is becoming expressed in the F1 generation. Similarly, here also round has been expressed. And here also yellow has been expressed because of its dominant nature. So law of dominance operates, there is no problem with reference to first generation. What he did for second generation means, as it was done earlier, the offspring of F1 generation were made as parents for F2 generation. The same round yellow offspring were made into parents for F2 generation. So I am putting two round yellow here. Remember, this round yellow and this round yellow are different. This is pure line variety, I can say, but here it is a hybrid formed due to this combination here. We will go for explanation later on. Two such round yellow plants were crossed, or otherwise this plant can be selfed also. Same plant can be selfed and selfing was done there. Now in the F2 generation, let us see what are produced in the dihybrid cross. In F2 generation, Mendel, for his surprise, he got 4 varieties of pea plants in the garden. There were 4 varieties of pea plants, namely round yellow. Some of the offsprings were round yellow, some of the offsprings were round green, and some of the offsprings were wrinkled yellow, and others were wrinkled green also. So he got 4 different offsprings: wrinkled yellow, wrinkled green, round green and round yellow, like that. 4 types of offsprings were produced in the F1 generation. In what ratio they have been produced means, in the ratio of 9:3:3:1 ratio they have been produced. F2 generation exhibited 9:3:3:1 ratio of round yellow, round green, wrinkled yellow and wrinkled green respectively. Now come the question, one new question in our mind. What is that? In the F2 generation, we got round yellow and wrinkled green. It is okay because they are parental generation, we can say. Wrinkled green also appeared in the F2 generation. You can prove that by means of law of segregation. It is okay. But we never took round green and we never took wrinkled yellow also. Neither in the parental generation nor in the F1 generation there were round green and wrinkled yellow. Are you understanding this point? Round yellow was taken, wrinkled green was taken. They reappeared in the F2 generation. Okay, just like monohybrid cross. But there was no question of round green and wrinkled yellow in the anywhere in the parents. Then how come a new character started to appear? What is meant by round green? The shape of the seed is round, color of the seed is green. Here shape of the seed is wrinkled, color is yellow. a new combination has appeared in the F2 generation. Remember, those new combinations are called recombinant varieties, we can say here. Recombinant. This word recombinant you will hear in biotechnology also. But now remember, this is the first thing where new characters have appeared in the offspring generation. We have never taken round green. We never used wrinkled yellow. But they appeared in 3:3 ratio, they appeared. So out of this 9:3:3:1, you can just imagine 10 are parental in nature. 10 are parental. And the remaining 6 are, what is that, recombinants in nature. Remember this point. How many recombinant varieties are produced? 6 ratio they are produced. 10 are parental ratio, 6 are, what is that, recombinant. So if at all in one more question if it is asked, what is the ratio between parental and recombinant varieties in a dihybrid cross done by Mendel means it is 10:6. 10:6 is the parental recombinant ratio. 9:3:3:1 is the F2 generation phenotypic ratio, we can say. I did not tell about genotypic ratio. We shall see the genotypic ratio afterwards. This is the phenotypic ratio 9:3:3:1. Dear students, you can understand one important point. This 9:3:3:1 is nothing but 2 times 3:1. If you multiply, it will become 9:3:3:1. Just in the monohybrid cross, we got 3:1. Dihybrid cross means 2 times 3:1. So 3:1 into 3:1 will give you 9:3:3:1. That is the dihybrid phenotypic ratio. In a dihybrid phenotypic ratio, how many characters you are seeing? How many phenotypes you are seeing? 4 phenotypes, 4 types. Round yellow, round green, wrinkled yellow, wrinkled green. How many number of individuals are produced? We can say 16 totally. Out of them, 10 are parental, 6 are recombinant. Remember, let me repeat it once again regarding the outline. Dihybrid cross is a cross between 2 individuals with reference to 2 characters or 4 traits. Mendel did a dihybrid cross in the pioneering work based on Pisum sativum. In Pisum sativum, Mendel took 2 characters at a time. One is seed shape, another one is seed color. When Mendel crossed a round seeded, yellow colored seed producing plant with a wrinkled seeded, green colored seed producing plant, he found that in the F1 generation, all the offsprings were round yellow. When he did selfing with this round yellow, or when he crossed 2 such F1 hybrid as parents for F2 generation, in the F2 generation, the offsprings were produced as round yellow, round green, wrinkled yellow, wrinkled green. These 4 types of phenotypes were produced in the ratio of 9:3:3:1. This is the phenotypic ratio of F2 generation in a dihybrid cross. One more question can be asked. Write the phenotypic ratio of a dihybrid cross. It is what? 9:3:3:1. Now remember, out of these 4 types, phenotypes, we can say that round green were never used either in the parental condition or in the F1 generation. Similarly, wrinkled green were also never used, but they are produced in the F2 generation. These 2 are called as recombinant varieties. So we can say that 10:6 is the parental recombinant ratio, 9:3:3:1 is the phenotypic ratio of F2 generation. This point, round green and wrinkled yellow, cannot be explained by law of dominance and law of segregation. You need a separate law here. I hope you got this point. It is not like a reappearance of recessive character for 3:1 ratio. It is a new character reappeared here. Round green is not at all taken anywhere throughout this hybridization experiment. Wrinkled yellow was not at all taken anywhere in this experiment, but they are produced newly. When newly formed conditions are there, they are called as recombinants. Recombinants will be different from the parents, and they will be that production of recombinant. How is it possible? For that, we are going to see the third law proposed by G.J. Mendel, that is called law of independent assortment. Regarding law of independent assortment, I will tell you after half a minute. Make note of this point. I will continue. Okay, students, just keep this outline in your mind. Let us see how to explain this dihybrid cross in detail. Okay, explanation I am going to tell you. So far I told you what is a dihybrid cross. It is a cross between two individuals with reference to two characters. Then I told you how Mendel performed dihybrid cross in the Pisum sativum. What is the phenotypic ratio of F2 generation we have seen here, that is 9:3:3:1, and parental will be 10 in number. Recombinant, you are hearing a word called recombinant here. A new character appeared among the offspring other than parent, that is called recombinant. This 9:3:3:1 is nothing but multiplication of 3:1 and 3:1. So two monohybrid crosses are together called as a dihybrid cross. Okay, let us see how to explain the occurrence of 9:3:3:1. Okay. What are the parents? Parental individual taken by Mendel means one of the pea plant was round yellow, another one is wrinkled green he took. Already I told you what is round yellow. With reference to shape it is round, with reference to color it is yellow. Here with reference to shape it is wrinkled, with reference to color it is green. Let us see the genotype of the parent. Parental arrangement we have to see here. Here most of the students will make mistake when they write the genotypic ratio. Please listen. Just compare this with monohybrid cross. When we took one character, we took two alleles. Otherwise, a diploid individual will be represented by two factors in a diploid condition. Similarly, for roundness, let me put capital R, capital R. Why? Because parents are diploid. For getting this roundness, it will have one paternal allele, one maternal allele, naturally. So I am putting capital R, capital R. For yellow condition, let me put capital Y, capital Y. Why I took capital R, capital R, capital Y, capital Y? I told you already. Roundness is dominant, yellow is dominant. So this parent is double dominant. With reference to shape also it is dominant. With reference to color also it is dominant. So capital R, capital R, capital Y, we are writing. What about a wrinkled green means? Small r, small r, small y, let me write here. This is the genotype of the parent. Please don't forget, you have to take 4 alleles for a dihybrid cross for each parent. Each parent should have 4 alleles, 2 of them for shape, 2 of them for color. Why? Because parent is diploid individual, isn't it? So for a diploid individual, there must be 4 alleles. In a dihybrid cross, in a monohybrid cross, you took 2 alleles, capital T, or small t. Here, 4 alleles are taken. It is 4 trait, that's why. Then, let us come to the gamete formation by the parent. How gametes are produced? You know that segregation will take place during gametogenesis. The alleles of the same character will separate from each other. How capital T separated from another capital T, like that. Capital R will separate from this capital R, capital Y will separate from this capital Y. So we will get, or this parent will produce capital R, capital Y, one gamete. Another gamete will be capital R, capital Y. This is another gamete we can write. Why I should write capital R, capital Y? Because alleles of the same character will separate from each other during gametogenesis. Law of segregation. One more thing, here also we will make mistake. What is that? Some of the students will write capital R together. Capital Y like this. Please listen. You may write like this. Capital R, capital Y, capital R, capital Y like this. This method is wrong. You should not write like this, because if you take both capital R together, if you segregate these pairs like this means, what will happen? This gamete will not have any allele for color. Isn't it? It will have allele for shape only. It will not have color allele at all. This gamete will have allele for color only. It will not have allele for shape. So, what we have to remember is, in a dihybrid cross, each gamete must be represented by both the alleles. Please remember this point. Each gamete must be represented by both the alleles. There must be one allele for shape. There must be another allele for color. You should not write shape together, color together. There must be one allele for shape and there must be one allele for color. So we are writing like this. This method is wrong, remember. Let us come to the female parent. Here what type of gamete it will produce? Small r, small y, small r, small y, it will produce. Is it or not? This is the method. Next step is fertilization. What is fertilization? Fusion of male and female gametes in random manner. Random manner means this gamete may fuse with this one or it may fuse with this one. It can either fuse with this female gamete or this female gamete. Similarly, this male gamete can either fuse with this one or this one. Please remember, again one mistake is, you should not join these two. Two male gametes will not join. There must be male and female like this. For this, we can use a Punnett square technique also because of fertilization. Remember, for fertilization, let us use the Punnett square. This is male gamete, capital R, capital Y. Another male gamete, capital R, capital Y, I am writing here. What about this one? Small r, small y, let me write here. Small r, small y. These two are the female gametes we are writing. Listen to me. If this male gamete joins with this female gamete, what will be the offspring? Capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. Do you get this point? Capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. Similarly, here also, capital R small r, capital Y small y. Similarly here also capital R small r, capital Y small y. Like this we can get 4 types of individuals. What are they? Capital R small r, capital Y small y means it is nothing but round yellow. Capital R will dominate over small r. Capital Y will dominate over small y. So all the offsprings will be round yellow only. This is what is that F1 offspring. This is what Mendel obtained in his dihybrid cross with P plant also. So here also we are getting round yellow. Same thing. That means the explanation we have given is equal to the experiment performed by the Mendel. This is the correct point. Why we took 4 alleles? Because it is dihybrid cross. For each trait there will be 2 alleles. One paternal, one maternal. One paternal, one maternal. Like that we are taking. In gamete formation, we should not forget that each gamete should have alleles of both the characters. There must be one allele for shape and another allele for color. 2 shape alleles cannot come together, 2 color alleles cannot come together. Remember, here you are prone to make mistake. Now fertilization means there is a random fusion of all these characters. All the offsprings produced here are round yellow. Shall we go for second generation? This is the first generation F1 offspring. Let me go for second generation. For that, what are the parents we are taking? Let us see here. Let me rub this one just to remember the point. Parents for F2 generation. Let me write here. Who are the parents for F2 generation? F1 offspring will become the parents for F2 generation. F1 offspring are round yellow and it is crossed with another round yellow. Is it not? Like this. What is the genotype of the parent? We know the genotype already. In Punnett square it is there. Capital R small r, capital Y small y. Why it is round yellow? Because of law of dominance. And here also round yellow, capital R small r, capital Y small y. Let us see what is the gamete produced here. Again we will prone to make mistake here. We are making mistake. How means? We may write capital R small r together, capital Y small y together. That is wrong. Each gamete in a dihybrid cross must be represented by 2 alleles or both the alleles. Each gamete will have both the alleles. In monohybrid cross there was only one allele in each gamete. In dihybrid cross there will be 2 alleles. If you perform trihybrid cross there will be 3 alleles. So every character must be represented in a gamete. Let us see here. Capital R small r, capital Y small y means it can produce capital R, capital Y together as one gamete. Remember, capital R small y is also another possibility. You cannot say that small y should not be present with capital R like that. Small r, capital Y is another possibility. Small r, small y is another possibility. 4 types of male gametes are possible here. Capital R, capital Y, capital R, small r, capital Y, and small r, small y. For each parent, this is the male parent, 4 male gamete, 4 pollen grains, or 4 types of what are the anthrozoids. What about female gamete? It will also be capital R, capital Y, capital R, small y, small r, capital Y, and small r, small y. I hope you got this point. These are the 4 female gametes, these are the 4 male gametes. How 4 male gametes are possible? Because it is heterozygous condition, capital R, capital Y, small y, double heterozygote. So this double heterozygous will produce 4 possible gametes. Now let us go for fertilization. How this gamete will enter into fertilization? Let us check here. Dear students, when we make for fertilization, Punnett square in dihybrid cross plays an important role. Let us take the Punnett square here. Fertilization is the random fusion of male gamete and a female gamete. Let us see here. Please recall, remember this point. Let me write a Punnett square in this manner. Because there are 4 male gametes, there are 4 female gametes. If they fuse randomly, there is a chance for 16 offspring. 16 offspring means I must make at least a 16 square here. Let us do that 16 square in this manner. Okay, just recall this point. In your textbook, the same square has been given as a some kind of what is that different pattern. So you can write either this method or that method also. Same thing only. Result and everything is not changed. Only the shape of the Punnett square is changed. Now remember, here let me take male gamete, capital R, capital Y, capital R, small y. Gamete should be circled, small r, capital Y, and small r, small y I am taking. Let us write female gametes here, capital R, capital Y, capital R, small y, small r, capital Y, small r, small y. While writing the y also, please pay attention, which is capital, which is small, just you have to clarify that. Okay, it should be legible writing. So I am writing capital Y like this and the small y like this. It is not that in size. Small y means small like this. Capital means not like that. Just make a difference here, not in size. Alphabets you must write properly. Let us see if this male gamete fuse with this one. What will be the ratio? Capital R, capital Y, or capital Y, capital Y. What about this one? Capital R, capital R, capital Y, small y. This one, capital R, small r, capital Y, capital Y. Is it or not? Just this one, capital R, small r, capital Y, small y, we can write. These are the 4 possible offspring. If this male gamete joins with this female gamete, remember this side I am writing male, this side female. If these two are joining, capital R, capital Y, small y. Is it or not? Similarly, capital R, small y, I am able to get here. Capital R, capital Y, small y. Here if you see means capital R, small y, we are able to get here. Capital R, capital Y, capital R, capital Y, small y. And here if you see small r, capital Y, here small r, capital Y, small y. When we come to this row here, capital R, and capital Y, small y. This one you can see capital R, small y, small r, and capital Y, small y. Small r, small y, we can get. Do you understand the Punnett square here? 16 offsprings we are getting. Each one is having a regular different arrangement. Let us come now. What will be the phenotypes? Let us see. Capital R, capital Y, small y, capital Y. Naturally, it will be round yellow. Yes or no? It will be round yellow because of homozygous it can be called. What about this one? This is also round yellow only. What about this one? This is also round yellow only. Here also round yellow we will be getting. What about this one? Round yellow. Even though there is small y, capital Y will dominate over the small y, so we will get yellow. What about this one? It is round wrinkled. Why wrinkled? Because 2 small y are there, you are getting round wrinkled. What is this? Round yellow. One capital R, one capital Y is the law of dominance, round yellow. This one is round only because one capital R is there, 2 small y are there means it will be wrinkled. What is this? round yellow. It is round yellow. This is also round yellow only. Isn't it? Yes. What about this one? It is not round. Smaller is there. So we will write it as wrinkled yellow. Wrinkled yellow you are getting. This is also wrinkled yellow. Then this one is round yellow. This is round wrinkled. Why wrinkled? Two small y are there. Why round? Capital R will dominate over small r. This is round green I will write. I'm sorry. Y small y is green. And this one if you see means wrinkled yellow. Because one capital Y is there. This is wrinkled green we can say. Do you understand this Punnett square? For which generation it is? F2 generation. 4 different gametes are produced. They will undergo, there are 16 possibilities for this gamete to perform fertilization. We are getting round yellow, all these things. Dear students, just observe this one. Let us see how many individuals are produced here. Make note of this. After half a minute, I will continue. I am going to rub this one. Write it fast. Okay, first generation you might have written, there won't be any confusion I hope. Let us analyze the offspring produced in a dihybrid cross in the F2 generation. In F2 generation, what are the offsprings produced? You may find that one type of offsprings are round yellow, another group of offsprings are round green, third one is wrinkled yellow, and fourth one is wrinkled green. Already I told you round yellow and wrinkled green are parental varieties, whereas round green and wrinkled yellow are recombinant varieties. Okay, right. Just see this Punnett square and find out how many round yellow individuals are there. If you analyze this square, just a shortcut I will tell you here, a technique I will tell you. You can see all the first row individuals are round yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4 are round yellow only. All the first column individuals, one, this, okay, all this, they are all round yellow only. Similarly, here there is one round yellow, here there is one round yellow. If you draw them, if you just join them diagonally, you will be getting a, what is that, a triangle shape here. How many individuals are there in this triangle? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Do you get this point? So round yellow is 8 in number, 9 in number. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. 9 in number. So 9 number of round yellow are produced. What about round green? Round green, you can check here. There is one round green here, one, and another round green. I'm sorry, I made a mistake here. This is a round green. It must be round green. Because two small y are there, round green. There cannot be round wrinkled. Both are shape only. Here one shape and one color means this is round green. This is round green, and here also I made mistake. Round green. I'm sorry. Okay. These are all round greens. Because two small y, here two small y. Check the point here. This is round green, this is round green, this is round green. So this and this. If we can get a triangle here in this way. Don't join this one, this round yellow. These three corners only you take, that will become round green. That is how many number? 3 in number. 9:3. Round wrinkled yellow we can see here. Wrinkled yellow. See, you can check here. This is one wrinkled yellow. This is one wrinkled yellow. This is one wrinkled yellow. So let us join these three. Another triangle I may get. A bigger triangle comprising round yellow. A medium one with round green. And round yellow, wrinkled yellow is 3 in number. Let us write it as wrinkled yellow here. And what about wrinkled green means? Wrinkled green is here only. This is the only one wrinkled green we are taking. That is wrinkled green. So 9:3:3:1 ratio we got. So our explanation is correct with reference to experiment. Dear students, remember this triangle is possible only if you write these gametes in the same sequence. Capital R, capital Y, capital R, small y, small r, capital Y, small r, small y. Suppose if you change like this and write capital R, capital Y, then small r, capital Y, you will not get this triangle. Ratio will be same. Ratio will be 9:3:3:1 only. But for your convenience to save the time, if you want to follow this technique, you must remember male and female gametes should be written in the same sequence. Capital R, capital Y, capital R, small y, small r, capital Y, small r, small y. If you write them in different sequence, ratio will be same, but this triangle will not be possible. Let it be. Triangle is not important, ratio is more important. What is the ratio? 9:3:3:1. Remember students, this is the phenotypic ratio of a dihybrid cross in the F2 generation. Shall we come for genotypic ratio? Listen to me. What about genotypes? Possible genotypes? Let me tell you here. Round yellow is here. Just imagine this round yellow can be either capital R, capital R, capital Y, capital Y. Double homozygosity. Or this can be capital R, capital R, capital Y, small y also. Or it may be capital R, small r, capital Y, capital Y. This is also round yellow only. There is a fourth possibility. Capital R, small r, capital Y, small y also. Yes or no? 4 possible genotypes are there for what is that? Round yellow. But how many number will be there? 9. How many genotypes are possible? Double homozygous, double heterozygous, single heterozygous, single heterozygous. In that way we can get this round yellow. What about these 3 individuals? These 3 individuals, who are there? Round green. Round green can be capital R, small y, small y. Green means 2 small y should be there. I made mistake. Here only, okay, so round green we have to remember. Here if you see means round green. It can be heterozygous round green or homozygous round green like that. What about these 2 are the possible genotype? No, nothing else is possible. If you put 2 capital Y, it will become yellow. Right. Now what about this individual? This individual, wrinkled yellow. Wrinkled means definitely there should be 2 small r. There cannot be any capital R. Wrinkled. Yellow means capital Y, capital Y. Wrinkled. Grey, what is that? Yellow means 1 capital Y, 1 small y. So it will be wrinkled homozygous yellow, wrinkled heterozygous yellow. This is homozygous round green, heterozygous round grape. Shall we come to this last one? This genotype will be small r, small y, small y. Any doubt here? Okay. Small r, small y, small y. Let us see the students. What will be the ratio of capital R, capital R, capital Y, capital Y? Analyze this Punnett square. How many capital R, capital R, capital Y is there? You can check here. This is the only one. So one is the one number of capital R, capital R, capital Y, capital Y. How many of them are capital R, capital Y, small y? Capital R, capital Y, small y. You can get here one ratio, one capital R, capital Y, small y. Here you can get one. Anything else if you check means capital R, capital Y, small y. Only two are there. Let us write it as 2 here. How many individuals are two capital Y and one capital R, one small y? 2 capital Y means this and this column only. Let us check here. One capital R, one small r, and 2 capital Y. This is one individual. And here you can see one capital R, capital Y, this one. This is one individual. Okay. I think nothing else is there. We can go for this two. How many individuals are capital R, capital Y, small y? Double heterozygous. Capital R, capital Y, small y. One is there. Capital R, capital Y, small y. 2 are there. 3 are there. 4 are there. This diagonals fully, they are capital R, capital Y, small y. Shall we write it as 4? Okay. 4 individuals are capital R, capital Y, small. How many totally? 9. That 9 is here. Let us come to this genotype. Capital R, small y, small y. Small y means, let us consider this one and this row only here. Capital R, small y, this is one individual. Then, I think no one is there. This is the only individual here. How many individuals are capital R, small y, small y? Capital R, small y, small y. Here you can see one. Capital R, small y, small y. Here you can see one. These are the 2 individuals. 1:2. That is what? Nothing but a 3 number here. Shall we come to this one? Small r, capital Y, capital Y. Small r, capital Y. Yes, sir? Here. Small r, capital Y, capital Y. This is one individual. Only one individual with this. We can write it as one number. What about small r, capital Y, small y? Small r, capital Y, small y. Here it is. This is one individual. Here you can see small r, capital Y, small y. These are 2 individuals. So 1:2. That is the 3 ratio. This is the last square. That is 1 in number. You can find out the genotypic ratio like this. What is the genotypic ratio of F2 generation? I will write it here. 1:2, 2:2, 2:4. 1, 2, 2, 4. That is the 9 in number. Then 1:2. This one 2. That is 3 in number. Again 1:2. That is 3 in number. Last one. So 1, 2, 2, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 2, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. That is the genotypic ratio. What is the phenotypic ratio? 9:3:3:1. What is the genotypic ratio? 1, 2, 2, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Remember this point. An important 1 mark question. There may be confusion, but remember this. You can write it in this way. 1, 2, 2, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1. This 1, 2, 2, 4 is nothing but 9. This 1, 2 is nothing but 3. This 3 and this 1. You are remembering so many phone numbers of unwanted phone numbers and all, but that will not give you marks in board exam. If you remember this ratio, at least you can get 1 mark. What is the ratio? Genotypic ratio of F2 generation. That is 1, 2, 2, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. This is 2 gene inheritance. Otherwise, dihybrid cross performed by Mendel based on pea plant. What are the characters we took? shape and color we took. Round yellow crossed with wrinkled green we have seen. I hope I made it clear. Go through this one, check your textbook also. In your textbook also same thing is given, but they have given the Punnett square in a structure like this. They have given the same thing is somewhat slightened here. It will become one number for this thing like this they made. But this will be easier, I hope. You can write this one. You will get marks. Remember, this triangle is possible only if you write the gametes in the same sequence. If you write this one here, you will not get the triangle. It will be varied. So, this is F2 generation genotypic ratio, F2 generation phenotypic ratio, and recombinants are produced. Why recombinants are produced? That we will see in the tomorrow's class. Law of independent assortment I will explain you in the later class. Okay, let me complete this one. Thank you very much.